In this video, we're going to discuss an overview of Apache Kafka components and its data model. So the main components of Apache Kafka are consumers, message brokers, and producers. Let's look at each of these components in turn. So consumers receive and process published messages from Kafka message brokers, whereby a message broker is just one of the existing servers running in the Kafka cluster. Consumers may label themselves with a particular group name such that all consumers with the same group name form a logical subscriber. In so doing, a consumer group may have multiple consumer instances so as to implement load balancing over all instances of the same group. Each message published to a topic by a producer will be delivered to exactly one consumer instance within each consumer group that subscribes to that topic. It should also be noted that consumer instances may run in separate processes or machines so as to provide scalability and fault tolerance. As mentioned earlier, each server node in the Kafka cluster is referred to as being a message broker, as they do exactly that. They each broker the sending of messages from producers to consumers, and they each act as persistence managers. Now let's look at producers. So as mentioned previously, producers send messages to the Kafka cluster, with each of these messages being published to a particular topic. Each topic may have many partitions, and each partition contains a sequence of messages that are each marked with a unique sequential ID. Now, given that published messages may be appended to each partition, and that the sequence of messages in a partition cannot be changed, each partition can be seen as a commit log from which a consumer may read messages. In the diagram to the right, we have an example of a Kafka architecture that consists of 4 producers that each send topics to the Kafka cluster, which in turn sends messages on to each of 3 consumers that subscribe to the topics sent from the producers. Now, consumers may be logically grouped into what is referred to as being a consumer group, whereby all consumers with the same group name belong to the same consumer group. The way in which consumers subscribe to topics can be classified into 2 separate models, the queuing model and the publish-subscribe model. In the queuing model, a group of consumers may read from a broker so that each message with a certain ID goes to exactly one consumer instance, while in the publish-subscribe model, each message is broadcast to all consumers